Let's take a look at how to tie an intruder. Although this pattern was designed to target steelhead on the swing, the techniques and principle in tying it is applicable to a lot of streamer patterns. Let's start everything with a 33mm shank and a small set of dumbbell eyes. To help with casting, we're going to try to keep the fly relatively light, relying instead on sink tips to decide where in the water column it will swim. Once I've doubled back and securely attached a predator wire, I'm going to split my thread and insert a bit of ice stub. What we're trying to do here is use the least amount of material possible and maximize the suggestion of volume. In other words, making the fly look as big as possible with the least amount of material. Arctic fox, similarly to bucktail, is a fiber that retains its shape even when wet. Because of that, it's a great material to use for the shoulder on this fly. Next up, we're going to add some contrast and some movement. 10 to 12 fibers of Leedy Amherst is a great way to add some of that contrast without adding any significant weight. Now for the movement, we're going to add some ostrich. Getting 1 or 2 fibers in between each of the Amherst bunches is more than enough. A final little detail for this rear station is to add some schlappen. You could also use mallard flank. All we're trying to do is create a little bit of a transition between the front station and the rear station. In the spirit of keeping this fly as light as possible, the body consists of a single layer of French flat braid. The front part of the fly, or the front station, is more of the same. The dubbing, the fox, the Amherst, ostrich, and schlappen. Again, the key here is to keep the fly as light as possible, but give it the impression of something big. The lighter the fly, the more castable it is. I find that this color combination of black and purple is what works best for me in the areas that I'm fishing, which is the Skeena Basin and its tributaries. Now, completely optional but highly recommended is a pair of jungle cock eyes. Here I'm using the real deal, but if you don't have access to it in the country you live in, Aquatalon makes a really good synthetic version. Cover everything up with a piece of schlappen or some mallard flank. After a few whip finish, seal everything up with some head cement or some UV resin. Brush it all up to loosen any trapped fibers. And there you have it, folks, an intruder. I hope it helped, and I'll see you next time.